Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I uploaded anything, but certain things happened and I really needed a break from having to converse or just make content for YouTube. Although, if you follow me on TikTok, I actually post steadily on my TikTok. And if you want to know what my TikTok account is, you can check some of the short reels that I have uploaded already on my YouTube, and then you can follow me over there. So, if you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing to my channel and just, welcome. I hope you enjoy spending time with me. I hope you learn something. I hope you have fun, because that's the essence of my channel. I share my experiences or the experiences of others that I gain through conversation, and hopefully we learn so we don't end up making the same mistakes, or kind of like we find our voices. For the old subscribers, welcome back. I was actually very surprised that when I checked my channel, I seem to be steadily growing. So thank you guys for your love and thank you for your support. I apologize in advance for any background noises that you may hear. There's some construction going on in my compound, and I usually don't record videos without like shutting all the doors, but it's hot, so for cross ventilation. So, to our topic of discussion today. Today we're focusing on relationships with single moms or single dads. Yeah. So, a friend of mine a few months ago reached out to me and he asked me, what is your opinion or what's your perception about being with a single mom or a single dad, and do you think it's a good idea, or you personally, would you date or be with a single dad? And I remember asking him, is it like a responsible single dad or the irresponsible one? Because personally, for me, right, I told him, right, my words were that I would be with a single dad, but not necessarily because I had feelings for him. For me, the highest point of judgment, and I know that that comes off wrong, is basically the relationship he has with his kid. And if beyond reasonable doubt it's proven that he isn't having sexual relations with the mother of his kid, that is the basis of my assessment. And I know that the whole issue of baby mama, baby daddy, something, it's like a powder cake that will explode, because some men think or believe that if you end up marrying a single mom and then you take care of the child, then the baby daddy can show up sometime in the future and claim the child. Anyway, I feel to a certain extent that's what's part of what is wrong with the world, because we live in a patriarchal society. Because I don't see the reason why an irresponsible parent, let's just call the person a sperm donor, feels that it's right to come back for a child that they abandoned. And I don't mean in situations where the man actually didn't know that he had a kid and the mother of the baby kept that information from him. I mean situations where from the get-go he knew she was pregnant, but he made it very clear that he wanted nothing to do with the situation, despite countless times of like giving him the opportunity and leaving the door open. So are we saying that just because the person who fathered the child doesn't step up, then The person who ends up being like a single mom is expected to remain single for the rest of their life. Why? Like, who came together as a collective and made that decision that if you're a single mom, you shouldn't hope to find love and you shouldn't be accepted. Anyway, so back to the guy's story. So, he told me that he had a friend who was a single mom, and she didn't get any support at all from the father of the baby. So she was completely taking care of the child on her own, and then she had a little business that was like her source of income. So she declared her interest in him. Despite the fact that he liked her, he had like a lot to consider. And then he went asking for, advice from people around, and everything he was hearing was on the negative, which is why he wanted my opinion. So I asked him a few questions. I'm like, let's leave the fact that, she's a single mom out of the equation. Right, I know that's important, but let's leave it out of the equation. How do you feel when you're with her? Let's leave the butterflies and my heart pounds and all of that. When you guys are together and you discuss, you spend time together, do you feel happy? Can you trust her enough to be vulnerable with her? Can you comfortably share your secrets with her? Like, how does she make you feel in general? Leave people's opinions out of it. People will give you their opinions, they'll give you advice, but they're not the ones in the situation. Ultimately, you're the one who is, at the center of the entire drama. So you are the one who has to make the decision for yourself. And I was telling him, sometimes, whether we like it or not, because it's part of human nature, the things we hear, the things we watch, basically the things we listen to in the environment, has a way of affecting us. I don't think you know that. A lot of people actually don't know that. The kind of materials that you consume has a way of affecting you here, except you're the kind of person who has discernment. Anyway, so I told him, remove everything that everyone around you have said. Get into a relationship with like a single parent. A single parent. I don't mean it's complicated situations. You get into a relationship with a single parent. It's a very big step and it's a very big commitment. So ultimately, you're the one who has to decide for yourself, because in the long run, if you do decide to take the decision, whatever happens, happens. And there's really nobody who is going to come and save you, or there's nobody that you're going to be able to run to. So you have to make the decision by yourself, because, okay, if you don't make the decision to be with the person and then you end up with someone else and then you regret it, that's still on you. If you also don't make, like, you make the decision to be with the person and then it turns out that they weren't who they said they were, that's also on you. Anyway, ultimately, he said, he would think about it and he would, make his decision. But then he told me that he stopped, being in contact with her because everything people told him turned him off of the entire experience. Now, back to how this, relates to me personally, right? I realized that in terms of, single parents, like single moms and single dads seeking relationship, it's almost like the world is always like love shaming women who are single parents, because it's okay for a man to be a single dad and a woman would happily and completely want to be with him to create a future together, right? But then if it's a woman, you hear things like, oh, she's irresponsible, she's this, she's that, she's this. Like, you hear a lot of things like, why shouldn't she focus on taking care of her children? Why is she so interested in that she wants another man to take up the responsibility of her kids? But sometimes we fail to realize that the reason why there are a lot of single moms are because of irresponsible men who go around having sex without protection, and they refuse to take responsibility for their children. I feel like if you're having unprotected sex, even with protection, right, people know it's just 99%. So there's a possibility that that 1%, something would happen. Do you get it? You cannot be having unprotected sex and then you don't want to be accountable, you don't want to take responsibility for the outcome of your actions. And where did we sit down as a collective? We had a meeting and then we decided that dating single moms are out of the question. Because when a woman is about to date a single dad, especially in the Nigerian environment, when a woman is about to date, a single dad, especially in the Nigerian environment, you hear things like, oh, he's having a hard time. He needs somebody to help him out. The child needs a mother, things like that is what you hear from people who you seek advice from. But when it's the reverse, when it's on the side of a woman, you hear a lot of very negative things. So I keep wondering, why is the equation very unbalanced? How did we as a collective sit down and attend the meeting and now decide that, oh, it's acceptable to be with a single dad but not so much for a single mom? And I know that there's a lot of bad stories for men and women as well who have gone into relationships, like long-term partnerships and commitment, with people who have kids and they co-parent, and then you find out that your partner is having sexual relations with the supposed baby mama. And I know that those are like bad situations, but I'm talking about the situations where that is not the case. We're not putting that on the table. It's not even something to consider. Why are we so unfair in our judgment? And besides, the way I see it, on the part of a single mom, and I don't mean the ones that are irresponsible time and time again, right? You loved someone, you thought that you guys were on the same page, you thought that you guys were creating something, and then you end up getting pregnant for the person, and then it turns out that the person just decided to leave you alone, and then you're put in a situation where you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the child. Then you ultimately have to become both the mother and the father. We can actually be adults, right, and have protected sex, right? We can use, there's so many, there are just so many family planning methods available. You as a woman self, you have to be smarter. Men are very visual creatures, right? The dishonest ones will tell you whatever it is that you want to hear. But I don't feel like if you're not financially stable, you should be taking some certain risk, because if you end up pregnant, you're alone. Honestly, nobody is going to rise to the occasion to help you. It's better for you to remain celibate. It's like unpopular opinion, and use sex toys rather than put yourself in a position where you have to pay for it until you die. There's literally no two ways about it. There are some women who can rise, while there's some who it's a very big flop. Then depression kicks in. You can barely take care of yourself, talk more of the kids that you've brought into the world. Make smarter choices. Be wiser. Just because someone tells you, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, doesn't automatically mean that it's a happy ever after. Unpopular opinion, except you're not open to get married, I don't see the reason why you should be having kids with a man that you're not married to. Yeah, there's some people who don't believe in marriage, and that's fine. That's your choice. But if, let's say, that your goal is not to get married and you're not financially secure, what madness is possessing you to take certain risks that you know what the outcome will be? And even if you say that, oh, okay, I want to have unprotected sex with the person because you're not having other sexual partners, right? There are other family planning methods that you can use. Always put yourself first in those kind of situations. Don't be led by your emotions, by your hormones as well, because it will not end well for you. Make smarter choices. Not every man is actually true to their word. Humans in general, even as friends, we can see how unpredictable they are. Talk more of in a relationship with someone who is not ready to be a father. Then you have yourself stuck in an abusive situation. And if you say, oh, okay, I'm tired, I'm done, I'm gonna leave, you're now on your own, struggling to fend for those children that you brought into the world. And I know that mistakes happen sometimes, but be honest with yourself. Did you really try to prevent those mistakes from happening, or were you just riding on the waves of love and feelings? Anyway, I hope I've given you guys something to think about today. Just make smarter choices, especially when you know that you are not responsible enough for the outcome that would play out when you take a wrong decision. We've come to the end of my video today. Like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. If you want to go to the comment section and just have a field day and tell me how your opinions are different from mine, I welcome it. And also, please turn on the notification icon just in case I upload new videos. You can be the first to find out about it. I apologize also for the camera angle. It's a work in progress, but yeah, I was led to upload this and talk about it today, and I think I've done that. Thank you for joining me. It's me, EJ, and you're watching Breakaway with EJ. Bye guys, I'll see you on the next video.